Hi there, and welcome back to the Smart English Coach podcast. This episode is inspired by one of my students, and she asked me a question which I thought was so good that it deserved a proper answer. And her question is this: what should I study in English? Now, this student follows me and she also follows other teachers and she has some of my courses, but she doesn't know what to choose to study in English and she doesn't know what to prioritize. For her, the choice is confusing and overwhelming. I think it's a really good question. How do you choose what to do, especially if your level is already good in English, and especially if you don't have a big goal like passing an exam? I think that there are four questions that you can ask yourself when you decide what to study in English. First question: are you enjoying what you're doing in English? Now, if you are already at a good level of English, I think that lots of grammar drills or lots of vocabulary exercises are not necessary. And if you find them boring, then there is no point doing them. In fact, the quickest way to burn out in English is if you keep doing things that you don't enjoy or things that don't help you make progress. And it's also the same when it comes to reading. So if you are forcing yourself to read texts that you don't enjoy on subjects that you don't find interesting, and these subjects are going to be personal to you. So maybe you're not interested in the economy or politics or technology, or as one student told me, paddle steamer boats on the Mississippi River. So if you're not enjoying these sorts of subjects, then don't spend time doing them. Life is too short to read things which you find boring. So, in a nutshell, do the things that you enjoy doing and which you know will help you make progress. Question number two: are there problems in your English that you need to deal with? So maybe your vocabulary is good, but you don't understand phrasal verbs or idioms. This would be one area for you to focus on. Or maybe your vocabulary is really good, but you have a tendency to always use the same words or the same phrases, and you would like your vocabulary to be a little bit more precise or a little bit more sophisticated in certain situations. So here would be another area for you to focus on. Or maybe your grammar is pretty good, but you still have difficulty with articles or with prepositions. So again, this would be an area that you can focus on. I think it's really satisfying to deal with problems one by one and then to tick off that particular problem and move on to the next thing. Because when you do this, when you know that you are improving your English, it's really, really motivating. Question number three to ask yourself: how much time do you have? Everybody's time varies. So, for example, if you are retired, then you have lots of time to dedicate to English. And I would suggest that you divide your time into different activities so that you continue to feel interested in what you're doing. But if you have much less time, then you're going to need to be strategic with what you do. So, here are a few guidelines for you. Don't follow teachers who don't inspire you or who don't teach you anything new. Second one, don't sign up for courses where you won't have time to use them. And the third one, understand that you will make progress, but perhaps more slowly than if you had more time. So, for example, don't expect to go from B2 level to C1 level in a month if you only have 10 minutes a day. And the fourth question to ask yourself: does the activity give you plenty of practice to use what you're learning? I think that this is perhaps the most important question to answer. A potential problem with doing only the things that you enjoy, for example, watching movies, is that they don't really help you to be active with the new English. They're great for developing passive skills, perhaps, but not so good at helping you to use what you learn. Now, for example, I can watch reality TV as much as I like, and I love watching reality TV. But if I don't find a way of using new words or using new phrases, then it's not really going to help me very much. It's so important to use what you learn so that you have a chance of remembering it again when you need to use it. So I hope that these four questions will help you to choose activities which are useful and enjoyable and which will help you to reduce overwhelm because there's so much English out there. One last thing, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast so that you never miss an episode. It's completely free. Go to the page smartenglishcoach.com and leave your email. I will let you know every time that there is a new episode for you. Thanks so much. See you soon.